Well, hello there, friends. Welcome to a beautiful Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Oh, my goodness. It's Tuesday, November 7th. You know, the only reason I know that is because Hootie and the Blowfish tickets for their summer 2024 tour went on sale, pre-sale today. And if you're ever in my little office area, I'll move the camera a little bit. You could check out. I got a little bit going on with my Hootie wall. It's very, very exciting. I absolutely love it. Okay, hey, so we're going to talk about leadership here, specifically your leadership, my leadership. And so, my goodness, leadership is a big, giant issue, right? It's a big, giant responsibility, big, giant opportunity that every single one of us has. Yet, so often, I hear all the time from people, well, I'm not a leader. I don't, there's nothing that I really do that's, anything about being a leader. And I'm like, okay, let's back up here for a second, because the reality is if you have influence, you are a leader. You are a leader. I mean, it's just how it goes. And so that's the powerful thing about leadership. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't think that you are a leader, you are. And I'm looking at a comment, Sophia, I would love to talk to you about our leadership training and our healthy communication training skills seminar and workshop that we have. And so I will Facebook message you and get you all of that information, or find out a time we can talk, because I would absolutely love to talk to you about that. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so leadership. Here's the reality. If you have some type of influence, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's online, and you influence people both positively and negatively, you are a leader. You have leadership in you. And that leadership, it can take the steps to be able to grow and develop. You're not going to start off as a super strong, mature, healthy, ready to go leader, but you'll be able to take the steps to keep growing. More responsibility will come your way. You'll be able to handle more situations. And then before you know it, oh my goodness, you have been used in a powerful way to lead, and people are going to be looking at you. Because the reality is, if you're a leader, eventually someone's going to follow you. They're going to listen to you. They're going to do what you do, right? I mean, that's like the most powerful part of leadership, right? Like the old phrase, like, do what I say, not what I do. No, that doesn't work. Like, especially as a parent, right? Our kids are watching us. And so our actions need to match up with our words. And so this is why I'm so excited at Speak with People, because we're spending the next month and a half. We're finishing off 2023 with a podcast series called Lead with People. Lead with people, not at them. And you're going to hear a lot about this over the next the next month and a half. I mean, we're going to ramp this thing up. I'm going to talk more about this here in a second. But I want to encourage you. I want to encourage myself. I want to challenge myself. I want to challenge you. It's time to lead differently. Like, we have to change things because some of us, we've been shying away from leadership. Some of us, we've been a little bit too out front. We got to let our skills and our character develop first. Some of us, we've been afraid to speak up. We've been afraid to stand up. We've been afraid to dream new things. This series is for you because we're going to say, hey, it's time for you and I to step up and step into the place that we've been called to do it. And here's the reality. The old school way of leadership tells you that you got to lead through fear. Fear, right? I'm pounding my fist. I'm hitting my hands on the table. It's the only way people will listen to me and do the things that I want them to do is if I get real loud. Well, they lead out of fear or they lead out of control. And this, again, comes through fear. When you lead out of control, you force and you manipulate and you do really, really yucky things to get people to follow you. So, for instance, I like to say you lead with people or you lead at them. You lead with or you lead at. And so let's just look at a couple examples of what leading at people would look like. One, you're not prioritizing your mental, physical, spiritual, financial, relational health. When was the last time you took a real close look at how healthy you were across all of those health areas? You may be killing it physically, but in the inside, you're just dead. You're depressed, you're worried. Maybe mentally, you're struggling with panic or anxiety. Maybe financially, you're in a hole. Maybe relationally, nobody wants to be around you and you can't figure out why. Spiritually, you haven't talked to God in forever. You don't even know. But physically, you're killing it. Or maybe mentally, you're killing it, but everything else. Here's what I hope you're encouraged with during the course of the series is that each of those areas got to rise up. Each of those areas got to rise up. And so you got to take advantage of each of those. Okay, the second one, your private and your public persona, they don't really match up. Your private and your public personality. Like in public, you're all bubbles and happy. And then in private, you're angry and upset and you're yelling at people. Another at principle, it's always your ideas that are implemented, especially if you have the opportunity to lead other people. You may somewhat listen to your team's ideas, but for the most part, you take their idea, make it your own, and then you act like it was your own. You don't give them any credit at all. This happens all the time in the workplace. Happens all the time. This is leading at people. Another way to lead at people, you speak way more than you listen. You speak way more than you listen. This is absolutely huge. You're the hero of your own story. Like, you're always the hero. You're always telling stories about you. You're never really telling stories about anybody else. You're at the center of everything. I mean, you're getting the idea, right? You're more concerned with the outside than the inside. Controlling is your norm. Like, as long as they do exactly what you want, you control. You haven't released anything. You haven't multiplied anything. There's a better way to lead. I absolutely love this quote by Simon Sinek. He says, leadership is not about being in charge. Leadership is about taking care of those in your charge. That's leadership. One of the things I talk about in our healthy communication training seminar through Speak with People, our healthy communication training seminar, which, by the way, there it is right there. If you have a relationship with your HR department, with your supervisor, if you own your business, if you're a director, this is for you. Speak with People. We train employees all the time on how to communicate in healthy ways. We live in a day and age where people are communicating in unhealthy ways. And we are communicating across 4 different generations of people: boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zers. And we're learning from our online communication that we can yell and be awful and talk down. And that's just not how communication works. If a company, if a team employs that kind of communication over time, morale goes down, productivity goes down, you lose clients, you lose sales, and then you wonder what happened. It all rises and falls with communication. So would love to tell you more about that training. Just let me know. Jason at speakwithpeople.com, Jason at speakwithpeople.com, and I will definitely get you more information, send you over. We'd love to. I just today confirmed that I'm going to be training 150 licensed bankers in Tennessee over the course of 2 days in December, all on communication skills. Banks have realized, hey, this is really, really important. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to train our people. So it's ready to go. There's a better way to lead. Instead of leading at, lead with people. Lead with people. Lead with authenticity. Lead with joy. Lead with trust. And this is a journey to get there. But my hope is the course of this next series, it launches November 15th, next week. And it runs to the end of the year, that through this series, you'll learn how to lead with people. So here are some examples of leading with people. One, you prioritize those health areas. Like you put in an effort to be able to do that. We're launching a course in 2 weeks called Speak Like a Leader. Inside of that video online training course, which if you're the everyday leader who says, oh my goodness, I've got to learn how to communicate better because I'm tired of my ideas not being heard. I'm tired of losing sales. I'm tired of not having deeper connections with people. Speak Like a Leader online training course is for you. In that course, we go all through how to set up healthy daily habits, how to set up a rhythm that works for you, and how to get healthy. So you prioritize those health areas. Also, you ask for ideas and opinions. You ask. When you lead with people, you spend lots of time asking. Like we absolutely have to ask. You breathe life into people with your words. Do you know these kind of people? I mean, this is what Speak with People is all about, right? We want to unleash a movement on the world that breathes life into each other with our words. That's why we have the Speak with People community Facebook group. That's why I love this group. I would love if you would invite another friend to be a part of it. Here's a big one. When you lead with people, you praise your team in public, but you wait till you're in private to have the hard conversations. That's a huge one. You're the guide who helps others succeed. Like when you lead with, like just like that Simon Sinek quote, like you are obsessed with helping your team succeed. You always give credit where it's due. And then you bring joy and laughter to your team. I was at a conference this last weekend. I met an amazing speaker. He wrote this book, Make Fun a Habit, Mike Brennan. I've only started to read it. I love it. This is the creative playbook for making life and work fun again. Like so many of us leaders, especially lead at people, have their arms crossed and they're pointing their finger, they're getting the job done, and they leave no room for life or brevity or laughter or fun. Lead with people because you do that. And so this series, we hope, will help you realize that the old way of success in leadership, which is authority and control, got to be over. You got to turn to a new way, and you lead from a place of joy and trust instead of manipulation and fear. And so here's the exciting thing about this series, okay? Are you ready? Like I can't even come to grips with how exciting this is. We are launching the Lead with People, Not at Them series. And it has 16 amazing guests. Let me make this a little bit bigger because I want you to be able to see some of these amazing guests because I don't want you to miss one episode. We're going to do two a week. So Wednesdays and Fridays, just get ready. Make sure you've subscribed to the Speak with People podcast. It's as simple as, if you have an Apple phone, it's as simple as going to the Apple Podcasts app, and then you type in Speak with People, And once you find the Speak with People podcast, there we are. And then up in the corner, you press the plus button and you subscribe. And then you'll get all of these weeks. But we kick off the first week with Aaron Burke, who's the pastor of a Radiant Church in Tampa. They've got a gazillion campuses. Aaron, when I did this interview, I'm telling you, it was like he was coming through, and he's going to talk about how to overcome obstacles. If you're going through a lot of crap in your life right now, do not miss next Wednesday. We also that week have Damian Gerke. I wish I had all their books in front of me. I can't believe I forgot their books. They're all downstairs. But most of these guests on this series are authors and writers. And then the second episode was with Damian Gerke, wrote this amazing book, and he's really going to help us answer, how do I lead with authenticity? He's going to really help look at the inside of who you are, and it is going to rock your world. Then week 2, like, I can't even believe this. I do have his book. Steve Cockram is on the podcast. He's written 1 million books. 5 Voices is one of them. How to communicate effectively with everyone you lead. Steve is the co-founder of an organization called Giant Worldwide, and it's an absolutely amazing leadership and communication organization. Then we finished week 2 with Eric Brooker, who wrote an amazing book, You Are Enough. And so if you want to overcome doubts of worthiness, this is your week. Like week 1 and week 2, look out. You're going to be doing some heart week. Then we go to week 3. And we're going to be in Thanksgiving. And so I do a podcast about how to talk to your family on Thanksgiving. For a lot of people, holidays are rough. And for some people, we just don't talk to our family. We just eat turkey and watch TV. Talk to your family. Like, communicate with them. And so I'm going to talk about that. And then we finish that week with Liza Maria Garcia. She's the CEO of Now Publishing, who we're publishing the Speak with People, Not at Them book through, which I absolutely can't wait. And so she's going to talk about clarity in leadership, why it's so incredibly important. Then week 4, we go with the CEO of Atlanta Compressor. He has different offices around the country, Morty Hodge, and he's going to talk about communicating the difficult things to your team. Like, how many of you have ever had to communicate something difficult? He's going to walk us through that. Then we have our first international guest ever, Orke Seminate. I know I pronounced that terribly wrong, but she's from Switzerland. Like, she had like the Alps in the background, and she's going to talk to us about actually communicating in a way that people listen. And so those are the first 4 weeks. Then we got 4 more weeks, people. 4 more weeks. Week 5 is Eric Anderson. She's written 6 best-selling business books. She is a juggernaut. She is absolutely brilliant. She's going to talk about communicating change. How do I communicate change to my team, to my family? Incredible. Then we finish week 5 with Jeff Calaguire, who trains coaches, who has a ranch up in the mountains of Colorado, who helps leaders rest. And he's going to talk about how to create a culture, a healthy culture in your workplace, how to find well-being at your work. Whew. Week 6, Harvard business professor Frank Cespedes. My interview with him, I'm telling you, it was so terribly exciting. He's going to talk about sales. How do we communicate in 2023 and beyond? He is the wisdom that just flowed out of this guy. And he lives in Boston. And so if you see my Ted Williams stuff behind me, where are we at? Ted Williams. Ted Williams was a Boston Red Sox back in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Then we finished that week with Taylor Payne. Taylor owns an incredible company. He has been a sales guru for so many people. We talk about the importance of leaders setting up systems and communicating growth. Then week 7, we talk about, with Christina Probrian, we talk about how to be obsessed with your client's needs. I mean, she is a real estate agent, has her own small business. She's absolutely incredible. It's just amazing. Then Dr. Sarah Spowert joins us. I've never talked with a person with more degrees than Dr. Sarah Spowert. I mean, she had like 3 or 4 masters. She's working on her 3rd PhD. She is brilliant. She talks to us about happiness and mindfulness. And at first, I was like, really? Do we got to talk about this? And as we dove into this conversation, it was powerful. Powerful. Then we finished week 8. Ralph Johnson. Ralph is an incredible communicator. He's going to talk about mentoring the younger generations. How do we speak into them? And then we finish with author Steve Woodruff. He wrote a book called The Point. It's how are we making sure that we communicate with clarity. Our leadership is absolutely clear. It's just absolutely powerful. So the other exciting announcement, if that's not enough, to go along with this series, we are publishing an ebook called The Leadership Collective. The Leadership Collective. And this has 37 different leadership principles from different leaders from around the country in all different fields, all different markets. We're going to do a free download for you. And so that will launch on November 18th, and you'll be able to get that at speakwithpeople.com/leadwithpeople. That page isn't up yet. It will be up by the end of the week. And then by the end of next week, you can download your own copy. Why are we doing all of this? Here's why. Because we're so passionate about this with or at paradigm that we want to continue helping leaders understand it's better to speak, lead, present, and it's better to do virtual stuff with people than at them. And that's my hope, that if you grab some nuggets today, and so if for a next step, I would look at your life today and go, is there any area that I'm leading at people? How's my tone when I speak to them? Do I try to, tell them exactly what's going to happen instead of bringing them into it? Go through those, unlock those, because they'll be terribly helpful and terribly important opportunities for what we are able to do and able to figure out. I'm catching up with the comments, now publishing. So excited to be partnering with you guys. Absolutely incredible. So I hope this lunch and learn was absolutely fantastic. We talked a little bit of leadership. We're going to do a whole lot more of these during the course of the series. My hope is we're going to get live interviews with leaders during this series, and we're going to talk leadership and dive into each of this. But in the meantime, get ready. So if you want to help with this series, here's my ask for you. Once it launches, listen to every podcast that you possibly can. Then copy the link and send it to different leaders who you think it would be helpful for. Then download the Leadership Collective ebook, and then send the link, speakwithpeople.com/leadwithpeople, to as many leaders as you possibly know. If you direct an organization and you lead people, would you consider sending that link out to your team? Would you consider sending that link out to your network? It would be absolutely incredible if you would consider doing that. Okay, friends, that's it for today. I'm so excited that you joined us. I'm going to post this on all the channels, YouTube and everything else. Again, if you have absolutely any questions, jason@speakwithpeople.com. And like I said in the beginning, if you want more information about our training, our Healthy Communication Employee Training, this is where we dive into communication skills, leadership development to help your team grow. We know that staff morale takes a bump up. We know that staff productivity takes a bump up. We know that sales take a bump up when we communicate better, because everything hinges on how well you and I communicate. All right. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. I hope it's perfect where you are. Today's a great day, again, like I said, because Hootie and the Blowfish Summer of 2024 tickets are on sale. See you, my friends.